Isn't it interesting how it's so easy, so totally easy to see all of your husband's shortcomings, and yet when you point one finger at him, guess what? 3 fingers are pointing back at you. So before you turn this off, I am challenging you to stick through this entire thing. It's just 2 or 3 minutes long because I want to challenge you and me to look at selfishness from perhaps a slightly different perspective. Because I know you were looking at this video thinking, great, she's going to teach me what to do about my husband's selfishness. Well, maybe he is selfish. Maybe that does need to be addressed. But let's examine ourselves first. Now, remember, you're going to stick through this whole video, right? I think in women especially, it's so subtle, this self-centeredness. It might sound something like this. My husband should understand that my way is right. He should do things my way. It's the right way. Or my husband isn't romantic enough, like, my friend's husband brought her flowers, and why isn't he more romantic? He needs to speak my love language and bring me gifts. Or it could be something like, he isn't making me happy anymore. I married him so he could make me happy. He's supposed to make me happy. I'm trying to make him happy. He should make me happy. Yeah, that is a subtle form of self-centeredness. And what I've learned is we usually address that by trying to pressure the other person and manipulate the other person and whine and complain toward the other person so that they will change and make us happy. And it doesn't really work. They tend to run and hide. They don't tend to want to be around you when you're doing those kinds of things. And it doesn't work anyway. Here is what the Bible says to do. Now just listen, Philippians 2, starting in verse 3. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourself. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interest of others. And here is what is almost like magical about this. Amazing, maybe be a better word to use. When you start actually trying to work at blessing your husband and speaking his love language and really trying to do little acts of kindness for him that are meaningful to him, you start to feel more joy. It is truly more blessed to give than to receive. Would you be willing to try that? Would you just be willing to try that? And yes, maybe your husband is selfish, and maybe that does need to be addressed. But I wonder if your marriage would change just a little bit every single week that goes by as you try to clean up your side of the street, try to be less self-focused, selfish, if you will, and look for ways to bless him and listen to his opinion. Ooh, it might work wonders for your marriage.